Well, where they've been drive-by screaming, I looked it up on the Department of Justice. 17.29 in the Department of Justice. And actually badgering witnesses, informants, that it's illegal. That they cannot badger a witness, they cannot badger an informant, and it's obstruction to justice. Yeah, they can't. So where I try to tell on them at Huntington Bank, they can't say a word. So where he called me a liar and you either confess your lying or I'll arrest you. And I'm like, what? He said, I told you I'll put you in jail if you don't say it. It's like, fine, whatever. He can't do that. It's right under the Department of Justice, like the legal search and seizure. That police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life and have to speak to everyone before they start, or it's a legal search and seizure. The Department of Justice recognizes people's places and homes as their castle, and they're not to be entered into. They can't badger a witness, a victim, or an informant. They can't threaten them at all when they give a statement. So where they ran around thinking it's funny they corrupted will, there was even a thing about bribing off somebody to do it in that law too, to be mean to them. He's in a lot of trouble. He did it on a recorded line. And I had crucial evidence. Dave probably called him. You know, out of weird odd chance, most banks keep their surveillance 3 to 5 years. They may still have it. They could go back and talk to the banker that was working that day. They could look it up and find him. They may actually still have the video because it's a bank. So where they think retired Judge Pete thinks he can pay everyone off. I told you that one retired sheriff I was talking to, are you sure the mafia is not involved? He said judges go to jail all the time, and so do their families. He's like, I arrested a judge's grandson. He said they go to jail all the time for committing crimes. He said, you know, the only one that gets away with this is the mafia because they pay so many people off. He said, are you sure your ex-husband doesn't have ties to the mafia? Because it seems like they're the only ones that get away with this. Because they can't do this. And I said, what was there not to believe? I give him the statement, what happened at Huntington Bank. He's like, there's nothing not to believe. He said, what do you mean he called you a liar? See, he can't. It's called badgering a witness, tampering with evidence, and obstruction to justice. And it says right on the Department of Justice is exactly what he did. And a bunch of other crimes. And there's a lot of laws that stop him from ever talking to me. He's to take my statement, and then he's to go pull the evidence. He should at least picked up the phone and called Huntington Bank and said, when Miss Hall opened this account on this day, I want to know if the bankers are there. Was there a blonde lady say that she got paid to watch her and she walked off with some tall white guy with black hair? Yeah. Did you yell her? Yeah. Oh, we got him. I want that. I'll be getting a court order. I want that surveillance. And it'd be Kieran, we got him. The case should have never started. Just even Katie Brothers at Ashcroft and Oak. Her telling everybody that her church was going to have me killed and telling 3 people it's conspiracy to commit murder. She should have went to jail the first day. If I would have called the police and instead of the FBI, all these people would have went to jail. Because it's just retired Judge Pete doing this. And his dirty friends end up without a call. He has no authority. And they're pulling this big fraud scheme, and they're cut off their little deal they cut with Will to let me get victimized and killed. He was very foolish and very stupid doing it on a recorded line. The Department of Justice will arrest him. And I'll tell you what, they're going to look at him and say, I'll tell you what, if he was still an agent, because Officer Reinhardt Louisville knew him, he's retired. They would be saying, where on earth did you think you could badger Karen? Where did you think you could ever talk to her like that? And what do you mean you told her she told anybody you list her crazy or no one helped her? Somebody helped her, right? You just didn't leave her up there to die, right? Because you can't. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. And like my one friend that worked at the prosecutor's office, you can never get out of the informant program. Once the government agrees to protect you, they have to keep protecting you. Someone try to kill you. It's like the witness protection program, different agency. They put you in a protection program. You can never get out no matter what. Someone try to kill you. They can move you to a different protection agency, but they have to let you know first. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. They can't say, good luck on your own, see you, bye. I hope they don't kill you. I was in Massillon like 2 weeks ago. I went to go to Home Depot, and some guy was talking to some lady, said, I'd never say a word to her. I heard she's an informant. I can't get out, for you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated dated against you again. And only for you would we ever do this for. Even when it's over, we'll always put it back as if it never happened. And only for you would we ever do this for. And we'll always put it back as if it never happened. And you can't be legally charged for anything for working this case. It's a witness protection program. They wipe out everything. And then for you witnessing against somebody worse, you just can't be charged for anything again. And then the government takes care of you. So they can't kill you for telling them they're supposed to move you out and change your name. And they were supposed to give me money to start. And Will just left me up there to die. Yeah. And that, like my friend that worked for the prosecutor, the agent can't talk to you like that. And the police know that. And they can't go along with illegal statements. And they can't go along, they'll list you crazy. No one can help you. He said that agent don't have that kind of authority. I just pulled it up on the Department of Justice. He doesn't. And he can't order you into saying you're lying under a threat of arrest, or he'll put you in jail if you don't say something. He doesn't have that kind of authority. It's badgering a witness, a victim, and it's tampering with evidence and obstruction of justice. It says right on the Department of Justice, 17.29. And if they bribed him like they said they did, and they find out he talked to anyone he talked to me, because nobody should have known I called. It was, yeah. Exactly. And to find out why you would be so horrible to someone scared for their life. Exactly. He's in a lot of trouble. And where they can run around and keep breaking his crimes, keep breaking it. There's new people here. Keep breaking it.